All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. We are going to do a Q&A episode. A lot of you guys have been commenting on our recent episodes, and so we're going to answer a couple of the comments. Let's just get started.
Wanted to do one of oh, man, you're wrong. I've always wanted to do one of these.
Well, you're welcome. We'll basically be doing this every week, so it's perfect.
Incredible.
Hey guys, been watching your channel for a while now. Everyone keeps telling me I need to use AI for my metalworking content, but what does AI actually do for someone who works with their hands? I'm not writing code, I'm cutting metal. Why should I care about this?
But there's so many things that you could do with AI. I mean, first of all, I would ask where are you selling this? Is it an Etsy store? Because if it's an Etsy store, easy. You go on. It was Nano Banana, the Gemini's new thing. You can do some killer great graphics to revamp your store. Obviously, the copy on your store you can put through ChatGPT or any LLM of your choice. I think for things like copy, I would probably lean towards ChatGPT. But yeah, I mean, I think focus on the marketplace and where your customer is seeing you, and then work backwards from there. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the best thing to do in any industry, especially handworking, I think the best thing to do is go through the customer journey, see what you could even see what parts you don't like doing, and see how AI can improve that. I think that's a really good thought thought experiment. Is like, well, how are people, like you said, how are people going to see me? How are people going to interact with my product before they go to buy, right? So that's your copy, that's your creative. And what can I do to make this, save a lot of time, save a lot of money with this, right? I think that's the
Or
best way
make
of
more
doing it.
money
Yeah.
in less
Which,
time,
which, yeah, which
which
is,
is what this is all about.
yeah. Which at the end of the day, it's like if you're, she does metalworking or welding content, right? So it's like Nano Banana is a great one. I mean, there's so many different video. VO3 came out. You have Runway. You have Flow is a good one. You can just figure try it. Like that's what I was saying the other day. Is like 10% of your efforts and money should go to learning AI. That's all.
Yeah. Use it once every day, at least.
Next comment. This comes from just a regular guy, 87. Not gonna lie, I'm intimidated. I'm not a tech person. Is AI even for people like us or just for programmers?
Today I was rage baiting people on X, specifically like computer, like CS people. I mean, because imagine going to school and dedicating your life to something that someone like myself who doesn't know shit about shit put together in a day that would take that same person like weeks, if not months. I mean, I think that's yeah. If I think that's where your opportunity is if you're not a programmer. Because if you're a programmer, I think you need to pivot to being a prompt engineer.
Yeah, I think there's two lanes that you need to go in when we're talking about like programming and AI and stuff like that. You don't need to be a programmer to use AI effectively. But if you are a programmer, I think there's a real way of using AI that allows you to ship more products, ship more. Like what were you saying earlier about the code, finding code breaks or
Yeah, like the bugs and yeah,
yeah, finding bugs. Yeah, exactly. So finding bugs, I mean, reading Bill Gates, like he would spend days going through his code and having his friend go through his code to find bugs. You can do that in
right.
35 seconds. So there's definitely it's a great equalizer because it's available for everyone and it can make you very dangerous even if you aren't a programmer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, really, I'd say the barriers to entry would be being able to describe. And I think that's where it's kind of tricky too, right? For some people at least, is they know what they need done, but it's hard to articulate, in which I would respond. Go on ChatGPT, put on the voice, the talk feature, and just kind of ramble. Even if it doesn't make sense, that thing's smart. It'll figure out what you're talking about. Okay. And then it'll help you kind of go from there, but talk to it like a human. That's what I tell I work with a guy and he's like 65, 66, and he's trying to learn about it. So I have it on his phone, and he's like, he talks to it like a human, and that's what I told him, and that's kind of where he's getting traction. So yeah, I kind of went on a tangent there.
No, but I think people need to understand that like money compounds, and I think that education or understanding compounds as well. It's like if I understand ChatGPT, 5.1 or whatever's out now. If I understand that to a certain degree, I don't think that like 7, 8, and 9 is going to be so much more different when it comes to like the interface and understanding. I think the same way it's like once you understand how to post on Instagram, once you understand how to post a story, how to like, and you understand like I said, that 10 hours, once you go
I mean,
10 hours,
yeah.
yeah,
Remember these things?
right.
I mean, you remember that 3GS and it had like that sexy sleek back with, it was like black and shiny and it had those big ugly icons and the internet barely worked. I mean, everyone has a smartphone. Literally, the driver's license place. Like you're scanning barcodes. I mean, it's the expectation. So very soon, is it going to be the expectation that you have to be able to understand, interact, engage, and leverage these emerging technologies?
Tech Savvy Sparky a day ago left this comment. I've played around with ChatGPT, but I feel like I'm only scratching the surface. What am I missing? What should I actually be using AI for in my daily workflow?
I would say when in doubt, ask AI. I mean, and then it'll ask you the right questions. Hey, chat, how could I use you? What could I use you for? Ask me the right questions so that we can figure this out together. And I think that's really one of the hacks, I think, is you say after your prompt, you say, what questions do you have? And then it'll, bullet out some questions. If you don't know all the answers, fine. Just give it whatever context. It doesn't have to be pretty. I mean, no punctuation, whatever. It doesn't have to be pretty at all. Just throw it back out and it'll take it and process it even better. I mean, just get in there. I mean, why are you asking me? And like, ask chat, you know what I'm saying?
Why are you on this podcast? Just ask chat that question.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
No, but that's why we called it Hey Chat, because we are the next best thing. Hey Chat. It's like, no, but I think when it comes to your daily workflow, I know I talked about this a little bit and I did not make this up. It was some very smart girl on Instagram said the best way of doing it is to go through Claude. And I've been doing this week and last week. I go to Claude and apparently it only works on my phone because I asked Claude, I said, hey, put this into my schedule, put this into my calendar. And it was like, I don't have access to your calendar. I can't do those things. Like I'm not able to do those things. And I was like, well, that's funny because you did it last week. And it's like, no, I can't do that or whatever. So I literally went to customer service and it said on there that it was able to access it. I put it back in the cloud and I said, what is this? And it said, it must be on the paid version or whatever. I was like, no, you did this last week. So went back and forth. There's like a 5-10 minute thing. Apparently you have to do it on your phone. So I went on my app on my phone and I did it. And I basically uploaded.
Weird.
I've uploaded, and this is my advice to you after that long introduction. My advice to you is to go on the Claude, give it your schedule, all the things you have to do for the week, and then say, I want a 15-minute break in between at each event. I want lunch during this time for 30 minutes. I want, to spend more time with my wife. So put an hour at the end. I want to be done by 5. Give it all the parameters and say, put it into my iCalendar and it'll do it. That's step 1. So go try that, see what happens, and that'll save you a ton of time. You don't need an assistant. Like, you don't need to pay an assistant. You could be just a normal person, blue-collar worker, put it in the Claude.
Plumber, perhaps. Drew's plumbing.
Like, it will make you more efficient. You will be able to work off a calendar, which we all know helps. So you'll be able to work off a calendar, and that's the best way of doing it at the beginning. Also, it can attach to, or it can pull from iMessage. It can pull from Google, Gmail, all that stuff. You can get into the weeds with it if you want. But like you said, the best thing to do is just get into it and figure it out on the fly. Like, you didn't read a book on walking. You just started walking. So, all right, next question coming from @Marcus_builds. Forget the hype.
Hello, Marcus Builds.
Forget the hype. What can AI do today that will save me time or make me money? Not 5 years from now, today, all caps.
Marcus Builds. All right. I mean, you could always come up with comments maybe for your podcast content. You could use it for that. I don't know. I mean, ask AI. I think off the top of my head,
we're not gonna have any questions
coming in.
We're not gonna have any more questions coming in.
No, but seriously, on the questions that, because this is, I take my 10,000 hours, right? Like I've asked it anything you could ask it. I think some things that are exciting me right now in terms of making money with AI, one, what I'm most excited about, WAP right now. And what I'm doing on WAP is not selling as like a creator, but on the WAP App Store, selling to the creators. I would have had no idea how to do this at all. Claude Code and Gemini and ChatGPT and a screenshot and, uploading the developer docs and not even really having to read them and, kind of orchestrating that all day. And I built something that I can charge $39 a month for in a, something where I think there's like 70 apps on this platform where they get like 15 million visitors a month or something crazy, and they're growing 10% year over year. And the amount of money that these creators are making on there is insane. So I think, honestly, if you want to make money tomorrow for not very much money, like zero to very minimal investment, vibe code something for WAP or teach people something on WAP. That's my take.
Shout out WAP, honestly. They need to sponsor the pod. That would be nice.
I like that guy too. The CEO, what's his name? He's young. He's a young guy.
Yeah, they're like a Gen Z company. But I will say that's for sure a great method. And just anytime you can like get early on a wave, that's number one. Number two is being able to get feedback on your apps now it's seamless. Like you can literally put it on WAP and get feedback right away. Oh, no one's using it. Okay, well, probably not a great app. You probably
sucks then.
Yeah. And so I think that I think that's a great way. I think people downplay what it means to save time and money. Like that is another way of, in my opinion, making money as long as you know how to spend the time and spend the money that you saved. So everything I just said about the Claude saving you time, just looking for ways to save time using AI is always going to be a great investment. And I mean, he asked if it was just a hype, and I don't think it's a hype. I think that you could see where we're going. I don't think people enjoy like when I say apps, I mean apps that are outside of what they do on a daily basis. So for example, it's like having the Stripe app on your account, on your phone, and you don't use it for, 5 weeks, 5 months. It's like people are tired of that. So they'd rather go into ChatGPT and just have an app already there. But yeah, the scheduling thing, the saving time, saving money, like, I've talked about Ramp many times where it's like they will literally save you time and money. Like they'll show you how much money they've saved you. So it's like there's different ways of saving time and money that this is not a wave. This is not a hype.
Yeah. And obviously, I mean, you can also sell services to local small businesses that don't know or don't, can't, or for whatever reason don't have AI. And let me tell you, you could probably throw a stone and hit one because very rare, very few of them do. And just think about it from the perspective of providing value. I mean, that's how you make money with anything, but it's especially easy now because if you can, especially if you're a problem solver, and you kind of like these puzzles, you just reverse engineer it and then you describe it in words as best as you can. And then you kind of refine it and then, comes something of value. So I think a blue ocean of opportunity.
I think, again, I just look at like the last revolution we had with, everyone was in lockdown, and then that's when in 2020, everyone was in lockdown, and that's when all these big creators began, is in 2020. And it's like, so the creator economy was already a thing, but that was 5 years ago, coming on 6 years ago. We're still in a blue ocean when it comes to creating content, like for a local, pet groomer or whatever. There's still a massive opportunity with simple organic marketing. And so I'm looking at AI and I'm like, you have to be at like the fetus stage at this point. Like we are so early, and people are like, well, I don't like change or whatever. It's like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I will make a podcast
about it. Change ain't gonna like you then. Yeah.
I will make a podcast about it. People will watch it and people will beat you. So, and then they'll be the ones like my job was taken by AI. It's like, yes, of course it was taken by AI. And the way I look at the job situation about people saying, are we going to be replaced? I actually think there's a question in here, so I'll save it. But we'll go to the next question. It's by Budget Creator Life, at Budget, capital B, Creator, capital C, Life, capital L. How much does this cost, though? Expensive subscriptions, or can regular people actually afford this stuff?
I mean, especially if you're budgeting, I mean, I can't say I was the best at budgeting before, but now even, I mean, you probably use AI and don't even realize it. Like, I can't remember the name of it, but it's my money app, but I mean, it has all my everything linked to it, and it'll, tell me if I'm spending Origin, I think is what it's called, and it's AI powered,
Yep.
and I mean, it's cool. And honestly, I've saved a lot of money because I think, like anything you track data wise, like if you track what you eat better. If you track, like your weight, etc. Same thing with money. So I think you can't afford not to do it.
Yeah, I think, like I said before, it's like you should take 10% of your income, whether it's your personal income, whether it's your business income, and you should put it towards AI. And what I mean by that is towards software, towards learning, towards our Patreon account.
Yes.
No, but
yeah. Fuck your 401k. My mom calls it IA. She'd go, oh yeah, IA. And I was like, Mom, just wait to see what IA does. Crazy.
No, but I think that, I think it's like you said, I think it's expensive if you don't do it. So, but it's just like dabble with it. It's like $20 a month, like for a ChatGPT, and then just talk to it and understand.
Not even, I mean,
yourself.
Gemini is free, and it used to suck when it was barred. And that's the other thing. If you tried to do this, like, I don't know, even as like last week or last month or last year, and you just didn't really like click with it, or it didn't make sense, or maybe it gave you an output that you weren't happy with, go try it again. Go use it again, and then use it to help you use it better.
So the Painted Tradesman asked, real talk, is this another overhyped tech bro thing? I've seen so many game-changing tools come and go. What makes AI different this time?
Wasn't the Patagonia vest that gave it away?
No, I think he's talking about the podcast. Is this another tech bro podcast? Absolutely not. We would not be caught dead being called tech bros.
We're AI bros.
We're AI bros.
No, but I mean, I think like any technology, you have kind of that core enthusiast group. Like there's, like Doug DeMuro, for example, he's a pioneer in car content creation. And then he obviously was able to leverage and kind of spin that off. I don't know. I mean, I think it's just something that we can kind of like, we talk about it for fun. So why not record it for the world?
Yeah, I don't actually think he was talking about the podcast, but if he was, then he doesn't know. He doesn't know what's coming. But I will say, as far as like, how do you know AI is hyped? Tell me one thing that's not hyped. Like, tell me one thing that's not hyped that didn't end up being like something. For example, everyone was like, cars are overhyped. Like, I mean,
right.
Funny story. The guy who literally was the CEO of GM at its peak, Billy Durant, used to sell his family, or actually he did, him and his friend sold horse-drawn carriages. And he was like, cars are overhyped. Cars are not going to be anything. They're clunky and only the rich have them. They're nothing. Then this guy, Henry Ford, came along, made some nice cars. And he's like, no, it's overhyped. It's like this guy's, peddling nonsense. And then it just started going. And then it's like, you have to be willing to just be like, okay, technology happens. Back in the day, whaling was the number one industry in the United States. Whaling. They would go out, they would catch a whale, bring it back, and take all the oil off of it, and that's how they would light candles, and that's how they would
get canceled for that today, and it was the number one industry.
Yeah, exactly. If I went out and caught a whale right now, and guess what? Then John D. Rockefeller came along and said, no, actually, we don't need to go out and get whales anymore. We could just dig in the ground, and we can get that. And there were still people going out there trying to catch whales and trying to sell oil, and they just got smoked. So it's like, it's a tale as old as time. Technology happens, things improve, and you just have to go with it. And you have to say, okay, this is my core company. This is my core business. This is what I do best. For me, it's like, it's marketing, advertising. If I do that, how can AI help me? How can, I look at the lever. So it's like, how can people help me? How can media help me? How can these different things help me with my core business and the thing that I do? And so when people are like, oh, I'm resistant to change, it's like, it's not about changing your DNA. It's talking about changing how you do things. Can you do it more efficiently? Can you do it more effectively? Can you do it for more people? Like before phones came out, people were going door to door. It doesn't, like, you can't help as many people as you would like doing that. I think people
Unless
just
you're
get
Mormon.
selfish.
Have you seen those kids,
Jehovah
those
Witness?
Mormon kids? No. Well, I think I don't want to be ignorant and say anything wrong, but because no, that's different, right? No, LDS, that's Mormon, and these kids, like, they sell solar and stuff. It's like part of the culture. Because I know they, like, spread the word of God. I don't know if they're Jehovah's Witness. Maybe again, I don't know,
Who knows?
but
They're hustlers.
they're hustlers. That's what I'm saying. I mean, these kids go door to door and they make a lot of money, but point being, that's persistence. And what AI is persistence for lazy people. And most people are lazy. So it's perfect.
I think. So I just read it. I just read this. So this is why it's fresh in my mind. But there's a laziness. There's a difference between laziness and laziness of thought. And people, the problem is, and what laziness of thought is, you just revert to habitual. Like, we've always done it like this. Like, it's habitual. And so it's like, oh, I don't want to think about AI because there's so much out there, which, agreed, there's so much. And that's why you need to follow the podcast. And if every single person that's watching this shares it with one friend, we double our audience. Thank you. Please and thank you.
And our wives will let us keep doing this. So it's good for everyone.
It pays the $39 a month for Riverside. Thank you guys so much.
We tell that to budget 1, 2.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's not about, it's not about changing who you are as a person. It's about not being lazy of thought, being lazy of body, and just saying, hey, I don't feel like making 1,000 phone calls, so I'm going to set up an AI agent. It's going to take me, another quote I heard, it was great. Take risks that the worst case scenario you can manage, and the best case scenario is life-changing. So this is a great opportunity. If you get ChatGPT for a year and you pay $350 for the entire year, I think you'll be able to manage. But if you actually use it in a way that is conducive with success or even learning, you learned it, I think you'll get your money back. So yeah, there's some nuggets. I think this is the last one coming up. Electrical Tutorials Daily asked, honest question. Great. I love honest questions. I love questions where they're honest.
Lie to me.
Is AI going to take our jobs? I make hands-on electrical tutorials. Should I be worried, or is the fear overblown?
Obviously, it really depends on what you do, because that sounds like a very niche career, and that sounds obviously something that you're passionate about and you care about, and more than likely are probably good at. So I think, yeah, it'll take your job if you're bad at your job. But if you're good at it, no, it'll help you. It'll enhance you. And I think it's going to be a performance separator and differentiator, where it really does separate the winners from the losers, because it becomes more about how resourceful are you? How can you use the tools available to you? Because if you still do things the old way, just to do them the old way, then I mean, that's not that's inefficient. Why business is about efficiency. But to answer the, electrical content, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like you make electrical content. That's hard to recreate. I mean, I guess theoretically you could, but you still need human judgment. That's the thing. I mean, if you don't want to have to film your phone over, you doing the thing, I'm sure in a year they'll have some pretty good, video stuff that can do it. But you know what people want to see? You want to know how the thing, whatever you do, the certain angles, the nuances of what you do that AI doesn't know. So I think it really, as long as I can foresee, it will need, hopefully, human, control it in orchestration and delegation.
Yeah, I think that if you're making electrical content, or if you're doing electrical work for people, I think you need to constantly ask yourself, am I doing this in the most efficient way? And am I doing what I actually want to be doing? And try to get that to 100%. So it's like, there's a business, right? Let's say it's content, because he's in content. Let's say it's a content business. I'm a YouTuber, right? I have to come up with the script. I have to come up with the idea. I have to do my research. And if you're good at it, I have to do my research, write the script, do the takes, and then I have to pass it off to my editor, and probably manually. I know a lot of people who, with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, who still do all this themselves. And it's like, okay, you're so artistic. You're so cool that, you're so humble that you don't have an editor. Great. But it's like people at the end of the day, what I realize is people don't want to delegate because they can't delegate because they can't communicate. You need to communicate to people. And quick tip, the best way to do that is just say, these are all the things that I cannot do and I'm not good at this. Can you do it? Yes. And they will do probably better than you because they are editors and that's what they do. But go through the entire process of what you do. Now, make a list of all the things in that process that you actually enjoy doing and keep those and look to see if you can delegate, automate, or eliminate the rest. Like there's some things in there that's like, just shouldn't be doing this at all. Like I shouldn't be, constantly setting up the camera. Like just leave it there, like boom, 20 minutes saved. Like just have a content space. It's okay. So yeah, there's a lot in there, but it's like, is it taking your job? Probably not as a content creator. As an electrician, probably not anytime soon. I really don't think that robots are going to be a thing for like another 5 to 10 years when it comes to like actually taking jobs. Like, have you seen that one robot that folds the clothes?
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah. But I believe, I mean, I don't want to get called out for this not being true, but I like 90% sure it is that it's someone like actually like a real human can basically playing a video game in your house, which I don't know. I have mixed feelings on. I mean, I'm not totally opposed to it.
So one of the best ways of like launching a product is to just have someone on the back end doing the thing until it's a great product. And then they talk about it in the lean startup where it's literally like one of the best ways to launch an app is not to like create the app, but to create the front facing part
Result and yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm talking to a chat bot. It's like, yeah, you're talking to a chat bot, but it's actually a person on the back end. And until it gets good enough and learns enough, then they just like move it on. And like now they create the product. And so that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And people are like, oh, I don't want someone like having a robot in my house, whatever. I'm like, first of all, you're not that important. They don't really care about like your like, oh, I have Louboutins in my closet. It's like these companies don't care about your $350 shoes, but they do care about your house, like your house plan and like the way that houses are laid out. We should have an episode where we just go through conspiracy theories because I have a conspiracy theory about Roombas. I think Roombas are a Russian spy mechanism. However, with all that said, I think we answered all the questions. Do you have any last words?
Not out of the realm of possibility. Last words? No, I mean, I don't know. It's like shit or get off the pot, with all this stuff. So it's those that will adapt will be rewarded, and those that refuse to will find things more difficult.
Yeah, I think this podcast is going to be either like it's going to catch on fire and it's just going to be like an amazing podcast. It's going to hit top of the charts in like 30 days. Like the top 30 fastest growing podcasts, or it's going to drive a lot of people away because at the end of the day, it's like, hey, this is a thing that you need to be like, that you need to know and that you need to be a part of, or don't listen or just bugger off. Like, honestly, it's just like AI is going to be a thing. You need to use it in your basic business or your, super scaled S&P 500 company. You need to do that. And I also think that like the top companies, there will be a lot of layoffs for a lot of people at the top companies like Amazon, Walmart, all those main, like the big companies. Even at like, I even think that like at tech startups, there's going to be a lot of layoffs. I even think that at, not necessarily startups, but like tech S&P 500 or NAS 100s, I think there's going to be a lot of layoffs. I think there's going to be a lot of layoffs with like consulting firms. I think there's going to be a lot of layoffs. But when it gets to like the blue collar worker, or even not even blue collar, it's like even the small tech companies or the small consulting companies,
services.
Marketing services, all these different services. I don't think we're going to see like a ton of layoffs. I think we're going to see new companies start, but I don't think we're going to see a lot of layoffs. And I like that. I don't want small businesses to have to lay off people because of AI. I want it to make them more efficient, and I want them to be able to save money to give to people. So yeah, so don't be afraid. Share the podcast. Everyone shares it once. I see you guys. Share the podcast.
Me, Jimmy John 14 in the chat.
Yeah, thank you guys for commenting. Budget creator life. What was the other one? Build with Rick. Just a regular guy, 87. Thank you guys for commenting.
The metal
If you want us to
fabricator.
answer, if you want us to answer any of your questions, drop it in the comments right now. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you all share, because if everyone shares, we double in size every episode, and that's the goal. Compound interest, and we'll see you guys on the next episode, bro. I'm going to be